Let's begin.
Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome back to the studio. I am so happy to see you all again for another episode of Podcast by Mr. B.
Hi, Mr. B, and a huge hello to our amazing listeners all around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
How are you doing today, Anna? You look a little bit tired?
Oh no, does it show? Yes, I am a little bit tired today. I have been drinking a lot of coffee.
It's been a busy week for you?
A very busy week. My desk is completely covered in papers. I am working on 3 different projects right now, and my brain feels like it is melting.
Wow, 3 projects at the same time? That is a lot to handle.
It is, but the work isn't the hardest part. The hardest part is when my boss walks by and asks, "Hey, Anna, how is the project going?"
Ah, the famous question, how is the project going? Or what are you working on?
Yes, and every time someone asks me that, I panic. I never know what to say. I just freeze.
That's a good point. Talking about your work in your native language can be tricky, but describing a complex project in a second language, that is a huge challenge.
Exactly. I want to sound professional, but I usually just sound confused.
Well, Anna, that ends today, because today our topic is how to describe a project you're working on.
Oh, thank goodness. I need this lesson right now.
We're going to make it very simple. We will learn how to explain complex tasks using natural, easy English. You will sound like a true professional.
That's a great goal. I am ready to learn.
Perfect. But before we jump into the lesson, we want to send a quick message to our community.
Yes, we recently hit 60,000 subscribers, which is incredible. If you are enjoying our lessons and you want to support us, please take 1 second to like this video and subscribe.
It's a small click for you, but it really helps our channel grow. Share it with a coworker too.
Thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate it.
Okay, Anna, let's get into it. Let's look at a real situation. You are in the office kitchen making coffee. A coworker comes in and says, "Hi, Anna, what are you working on these days?"
Okay, real situation.
What is the problem? How do you usually answer that?
Well, my brain goes crazy. I start listing every single thing I did that day. I say, "Oh, I'm sending emails to the client, and I'm making a spreadsheet, and I called the designer, and the printer is broken."
Stop. I'm already exhausted just listening to you.
I know. It sounds like a boring shopping list. And my coworker always looks confused. They just wanted to say hello, and I gave them my whole diary.
Exactly. When someone asks about your project, they don't want to know about the emails or the broken printer. They want the big picture.
The big picture. That makes sense. But how do I explain the big picture in simple English?
We're going to use a simple 3-step project framework. It will help you organize your thoughts instantly.
3 steps. Got it. Short and clear. What is step 1?
Step 1 is the big picture name.
The big picture name. What does that mean?
It means you start by naming the project in one simple sentence. Do not use complicated office vocabulary. Just state the main topic.
Give me an example.
You can use the phrase, "I'm currently working on," or "I'm involved in."
I'm currently working on. Okay, so I could say I'm currently working on the new marketing campaign.
Perfect. Or if you're working with other people, you can say, "My team is putting together."
My team is putting together the annual sales report.
Exactly. You didn't mention spreadsheets or emails, you just gave the project a clear name.
I like that. It's a very clean start.
Let's practice step 1. Listeners, wherever you are, try saying these phrases out loud with us.
Yes, repeat after us. Build that confidence.
Phrase 1. I'm currently working on the website redesign.
I'm currently working on the website redesign.
Phrase 2. I'm involved in a big research project right now.
I'm involved in a big research project right now.
Phrase 3. My team is putting together the new training manual.
My team is putting together the new training manual.
Excellent. Okay, now let's move to step 2. You gave them the name, now they need to know what is happening today. Step 2 is the current action.
Current action. This is where I talk about what I am actually doing?
Yes, but again, keep it high level. Do not say, I am typing. Use strong professional action verbs.
Like what?
You can use the phrase, right now we are focusing on, or at the moment I'm.
Right now, we're focusing on. Okay, so let's say I'm planning an event. Right now, we're focusing on finding the perfect hotel.
That is a fantastic example, Anna. It's clear, it's active, and it's easy to understand.
What if I am doing research? Could I say, at the moment, I'm analyzing the customer data?
Exactly. Analyzing is a great professional verb. You can also use words like designing, testing, or organizing.
Testing, that's a good one for IT projects. At the moment, I'm testing the new software.
You're doing great. Let's do a quick repeat session for step 2. Listeners, say these with us.
Let's go. Right now, we're focusing on the budget.
Right now, we're focusing on the budget.
At the moment, I'm designing the new logo.
At the moment, I'm designing the new logo.
We're currently organizing the schedule.
We're currently organizing the schedule. Perfect. Okay, Anna, we have step 1, the big picture name. We have step 2, the current action. What do you think step 3 is?
Do I say goodbye now?
Not quite. You're missing the most important part of a project. Step 3 is the big result.
The big result. You mean why we are doing the project in the first place?
Yes, every project has a goal. If you don't tell people the goal, they might not understand why your work is important.
That's a good point. I want people to know my work is important.
To explain the result, use the phrase, the goal is to, or once it's finished, it will.
The goal is to bring in more customers by December.
I like that. Very strong. Or try the second phrase. Once it's finished,
it will save the team 2 hours of work every day.
Anna, that is brilliant. If you tell your boss that your project will save the team 2 hours a day, they will be very happy.
I hope so. It sounds so much better than just saying, I'm making a spreadsheet.
It completely changes the conversation. You go from sounding like a stressed worker to sounding like a smart manager.
Okay, let's practice step 3 phrases. Listeners, your turn.
Phrase 1. The goal is to improve our customer service.
The goal is to improve our customer service.
Phrase 2. The main aim is to cut costs by 10%.
The main aim is to cut costs by 10%.
Phrase 3. Once it's finished, it will make the process much faster.
Once it's finished, it will make the process much faster.
Fantastic job, everyone.
Okay, Mr. B, I understand the 3 steps. Step 1, big picture name. Step 2, current action. Step 3, big result.
Got it. Short and clear. Let's put it all together in a mini role play.
Yes, let's try it.
I will be your coworker. We are in the elevator. Hey, Anna, good to see you. What are you working on these days?
Hi, Mr. B. Well, I'm currently working on the summer marketing campaign. Right now, we're focusing on designing the social media ads. The goal is to launch everything by June and increase our summer sales.
Wow!
How was that?
That was the perfect elevator pitch. It took about 15 seconds, it was polite, and I know exactly what you're doing.
I felt very professional. I didn't mention my messy desk or my coffee.
No, you kept it very professional. But Anna, let me ask you a tricky question.
Uh-oh, tricky question time.
What happens when the project is not going well?
Oh, that happens a lot. Sometimes things are delayed or a vendor doesn't call back. What do I say then? I can't say everything is a disaster.
No, definitely don't say that. If a project is delayed, you need to use softening phrases.
Softening phrases. How do I soften a disaster?
Instead of saying, we are very late, you can say, we hit a small delay, but...
We hit a small delay, but we're working on it.
Exactly. The word bump is also very common. We hit a small bump in the road.
We hit a little bump, but it's under control.
I like that. It sounds like a tiny problem, not a huge fire.
Yes, and if you are still trying to figure things out, use the phrase, "We're still finalizing the details."
We're still finalizing the details. That sounds a lot better than, I don't know what I'm doing.
It really does. It sounds like you are carefully planning, even if you are stressed.
Let's practice those. Listeners, these are great for when you need to buy some time. Repeat after me. We hit a small delay, but we're back on track.
We hit a small delay, but we're back on track.
We hit a little bump, but it's under control.
We hit a little bump, but it's under control.
We're still finalizing the timeline.
We're still finalizing the timeline.
Excellent. You handle problems like a pro, Anna.
Thank you, Mr. B. I feel like I have a whole new vocabulary for my office.
Now, let's talk about some grammar. Just a tiny bit of spoken grammar that native speakers use all the time.
Okay, I am ready.
When we talk about projects, we almost always use the present continuous tense. That means verbs with ing.
I am working. I am focusing.
Exactly. We say, I am working on a project. We do not say, I work on a project.
Oh, I hear people say, I work on a project a lot.
It is a very common mistake. If you say, I work in marketing, that is correct, because it is a permanent fact. But a project is temporary. It will finish one day. So we say, I am working on.
That makes sense. Permanent facts, present simple. I work in HR. Temporary projects, ing. I am hiring a new manager.
Spot on. You explained it perfectly.
It is a small change, but it makes the English sound so much more natural.
It really does. Now, Anna, even if you know the grammar and the 3 steps, sometimes your body language betrays you.
Yes, my shoulders get tight and I start looking at the floor.
That brings us to our confidence tips section.
I need this. How do I look confident when I talk about my messy projects?
Tip number 1, use your hands.
Use my hands, like waving them around?
Not waving wildly, but keep your hands visible. When you talk about the big picture, use a small open hand gesture. Showing your palms builds trust and makes you look relaxed.
Open hands. Okay. It feels much better than crossing my arms.
Yes, crossing your arms makes you look defensive. Keep it open. Tip number 2, bring the energy.
Bring the energy. Should I jump up and down?
No jumping, just inject a little bit of enthusiasm into your voice. Even if the project is boring, like organizing old files, smile when you say it.
I'm currently organizing the archive files.
Exactly. The smile naturally raises the pitch of your voice, making you sound friendly and professional.
That's a good point. If I sound bored, they will be bored.
Exactly. And tip number 3, the emergency exit.
Emergency exit, yes. What if my brain freezes completely? What if I forget the 3 steps?
If you forget everything, take a slow breath, smile, and use this magic phrase. Basically, my main focus right now is...
Basically, my main focus right now is the new software.
Yes, the word basically tells the listener that you are summarizing. It gives your brain a second to catch up.
I love the word basically. It is my new best friend.
It is a very natural filler word that native speakers use all the time to gather their thoughts.
Let's put all of this to the test, Mr. B. I want to do another role play. Let's pretend I am a university student for our listeners who are studying right now.
Let's try it. I'm your professor. We meet in the library. Hello, Anna. How is your final assignment going?
Hello, Professor. I'm currently working on my history thesis. Right now, I'm focusing on analyzing the old newspapers from 1920. The goal is to show how daily life changed after the war.
That sounds fascinating, Anna. Keep up the good work.
See, it works for students too.
It works perfectly. The structure is universal. Okay, let's do a final recap to lock this into our memory.
I am ready.
What is our three-step project framework?
Step 1, the big picture name. Use I'm currently working on. Step 2, the current action. Use right now we are focusing on. Step 3, the big result. Use the goal is to.
Perfect. And what grammar rule should we remember?
Use ing for projects. I am working, not I work.
Perfect. And your confidence tips?
Keep your hands open, smile to bring energy, and if you panic, use the magic word basically.
You've mastered it, Anna.
I really feel like I have. Tomorrow at work, I'm actually going to hope my boss asks me about my project.
That is a huge change. I am so proud of you.
And now we want our listeners to feel that exact same confidence. It's time for our practice challenge.
Yes, this is where you actually learn. We want you to go to the comments section right now.
Tell us about a project you are working on. It can be a project at work, a project at school, or even a personal project at home.
Yes, maybe you're painting your house. Use the 3 steps. Tell us the name, the action, and the result.
For example, I'm currently working on a garden project. Right now, I'm focusing on planting tomatoes. The goal is to grow my own vegetables for the summer.
Write your project in a full sentence below. We read every single comment and we'll reply to encourage you and help you improve.
We love hearing about your lives and your goals. Don't be shy.
Well, Anna, I think you have some projects to get back to on that messy desk of yours.
I do, but now I'm not stressed about them. I know how to handle it.
Thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. You're doing a fantastic job with your English journey.
Yes, keep practicing, keep smiling, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so we can see you next time.
Have a wonderful week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, friends.